Welcome everybody. This is a special video episode of Moniques Clutch Conversations, the blog that unites mothers and daughters, just giving them the opportunity to be themselves and be women together. Well, this week I have a special guest, an amazing guest, a beautiful guest, my firstborn, my 20-year-old Kamryn. Hi, how are you guys? So Kamryn and I decided to do this video blog, and this is going to be a two-part series. This part is dealing with women and marriage and just everything that goes along with becoming that woman before you become that wife. So Kamryn had started asking me some questions about getting married and my thoughts and opinions about marriage, and I said, well, let's do a video blog. Let's take this to the Clutch Conversation. So that's why we're here, and we're just gonna be with you guys for about 15 minutes. And Kamryn, I don't even know what the questions are, but she has a series of questions for me, so this should be very eventful. And I have a few questions for her, so why don't we just go ahead and get started?
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so don't look at my questions because...
Okay, I'm not looking at your questions.
They're
Oh
private.
Lord, pray for me, y'all.
Okay, so my first real question for you is, why did you feel that it was the right time to get married? We're just gonna jump right on
We're just gonna jump right on in. Okay, where's my shot glass? Why did I feel like it was time to get married? I thought I was ready. I thought I had spent enough time being single, and I thought that I had learned everything I needed. Not everything, but I thought I learned enough to be a good wife, and I was ready to be married, and I was ready to take that next step. And so I felt like it was time to get married, and I felt like it was past time to get married. So, you know, that whole thing that we women experience where we feel like we have to make certain, you know, marks in our lives by a certain age, I really felt like that was where I was. It was time for me to be married, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to see a husband and wife working together. And so that was one of the main factors as to why I got married.
So this isn't on my list, but did you feel more pressure to do it just because of your age and because you just wanted to show me what it was like to be married and to have that, not stability, but to have that wife and husband, to see something that I've never seen before?
Yeah, I think I really did feel pressure, but I won't say that was the only driving force.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that I was at a stage in my life where I was ready to be a wife. Like, I felt like I was mentally and spiritually ready to take on that awesome responsibility in life. So that was the biggest thing.
Okay, so I have one more question. Well, I have more than one question. So the next one is, how do you know you are ready to be married?
Well, let me just, disclaimer alert out there. I did not stay married long. And shortly after entering marriage, I was like, what the hell did I do? What? So I say all of that because your next question is, it was what? How do you know you're ready to be married? Girl, how do you know? One of the things I would say is when you know who God has created you to be, when you know who you are and you are confident in who that person is, who that woman is, that's the first thing that is an indicator that you're ready to be married. Because if you don't know who you are, then you're going to look to your mate to tell you who you are. You're going to look to your spouse to kind of define you or give you direction. And if that is what happens, then you are already kind of putting an insurmountable amount of pressure on your husband. So the first thing is you got to know who you are. You got to know who God has created you to be. And number two, I think one of the things that you know you're ready, when you're ready to let someone else lead and guide you and speak to you and encourage you and correct you, then you may be ready for marriage. If you're so independent that no man or no woman can tell you what to do, then you're not ready to bring somebody else in your life that's going to be your partner. If you're not ready to share, like, marriage is a huge sharing experiment. And if you're not ready to share yourself and share your life and share your world and share your space and your thoughts and your ideas and goals, if you're not ready to do those things, you are certainly not ready to be married. And also, if you are ready to take a step back or fail at some point, you may, because marriage is an ever evolving thing. You're not always going to be the center of attention. You're not always going to get your way. You're not always going to be right. You're not always going to win an argument. So if you're okay with learning these things as you grow, as you go along the way, then you're ready for marriage. But if you're not ready for those things yet, if that causes you to separate and isolate from people when you have to take a step back, you're not ready.
That was a really good explanation because I wouldn't have thought of that. So this next question, number 3.
She's giving me the look.
So how did you feel about the way that your marriage ended?
Ooh, geez. How did I feel? I'm going to be honest with you. I felt unsure, shaky. I doubted myself a whole lot because I thought that I had made the worst mistake in the whole wide world. I felt like a failure. I felt like everyone was going to judge me. And even in all those horrible feelings, there was a part of me that felt relief, because I think shortly after marriage, I felt like, did I marry the right person? Or was I really ready for this thing called marriage? So I had those two polar opposite feelings of I've just screwed things up royally for myself, and my self-esteem tanked, because at that point I was thinking, who's gonna want me with children and baggage, and
don't forget your dog.
3 kids and a dog. And and am I ever gonna trust someone enough to open myself up to marriage, to open myself up to a life with them? Like, am I really gonna trust them and let those walls down? So in the blink of an eye, when I think a lot of people, when your marriage ends, you automatically start warring with yourself. And I was looking at a pastor who was just talking about marriage and divorce, and it is literally because you two became one. You became this one entity, and that's what you're supposed to. And so when you have come to the point where it's a divorce, you're literally ripping yourself apart. And so that was the struggle that I felt like I'm ripping myself apart. It's necessary. There's no other way around it. There's no other escaping it. But in the same time, I just felt all these emotions, and 9 out of 10 of them were not good. So that's how I felt.
Wow.
So that's why it's important. Choose wisely,
To know
pray,
you're
and let
married.
God lead you to who you're marrying, and be prepared to do the work, because no one wants to feel like they're ripping themselves apart.
Right. Because, I mean, I know that was the worst feeling, because at the time
Devastating.
you were pregnant with Davis.
Yep.
So he's even more emotional. Because he's emotional.
He's not emotional.
Yes, he is. Anywho. But I could just see that was very painful for you. But I'm glad to see that you've overcome that, and you've moved forward, and you've pushed through, and now you're in a better space.
Yeah, man.
With your 3 kids and dog.
And a dog.
Who is whining. So, your next question is, how long should you date before marriage?
What? You know what? First of all, I don't know if there is a standard time that you have to date before you say, I'm ready to be married. We need to talk marriage, or we need to get married. I think it has to go back to, are you guys securing who you are? Are you guys on the same page with what you want to accomplish and how you want to go about doing it? And are you guys going in the right direction, individually, spiritually, and as a couple? Because you can date for 5 years, and if you're not going in the same direction, y'all just kind of hanging out together and doing things together, but y'all aren't going to the same place, y'all don't have the same goals, your communication is not that great. If those things aren't in place, it doesn't matter how long you're dating. Marriage is going to be hard.
Right.
Marriage is already hard, even in the most optimum issues. There are some people who dated for weeks, and they married, and they've lasted decades. There are some people who dated for 5-10 years, got married, and divorced within 3. So there's no set time frame, but I will have to say, you've got to know the person. You got to be honest with yourself about who you are and honest about this person. And you got to be prepared to deal with their flaws. And if you can deal with those flaws and grow together, then you're ready, perhaps. But if you're still working out those kinks and you're not really sure, and I can't see a future with you, but I invested all this time, so we might as well. No, we're not doing like that song where we ain't getting no younger, we might as well do it. No.
So how long did you date before marriage? Because I never really got an exact answer on that. I just knew it wasn't long.
It was not long, y'all. So, let's see. I met them, my ex-husband, oh gosh, I can't even remember if it may have been a November or a December. So I met him in December, and I think within a month we started talking marriage. And I think that's, again, because in my mind, I'm ready to be a wife. I'm ready, and that's one of the areas that I have needed to grow in, where I don't enter into a situation and take off running. Because when we women are ready to be married, we will get with the guy and boom, let's do it. I can already see myself in the dress. I already got the venue. We are happily ever after, and it's like you're seeing that, but you're not seeing what's right in front of you. So for me and him, it was not a long period of time. We met and we were married within a 9-month period.
That's a pregnancy. All right.
Crazy.
Were you? All right.
But I wasn't pregnant. We practiced abstinence before. We did not have sex before we got married. And I think that was another reason why we kind of expedited things, because we
wanted children.
Well, I don't know about all that. But because we weren't having sex, a lot of times that makes you not think about physical things, and so you can move faster sometimes. Mm-hmm. Or it just, because I want to have sex, let me hurry up and marry this dude or this woman because we ready to get it in.
Right.
And we want to do it the right way.
Right.
That is not a good answer at any point in time.
Yeah, I get that. Let's see. So within a marriage, what are some financial things that should be communicated?
Everything. When you're thinking about marrying someone, if you guys are at that point, you guys need to talk about joint accounts, separate accounts, life insurance, retirement plan, working, promotions, where are we going? Are we owning our own business? Who's stronger at paying the bills? Because you may think that you're the stronger one, but you may find out they're stronger. What's your credit score? Homeboy, if you got a 400, that's not going to happen. Homegirl, if you got collection notices, at least start taking care of this. Sorry, guys, our dog wants to be in this video. Not happening. But all those financial things we need to discuss. You need to discuss, is this somebody who creates bills, but they won't pay bills? Is this someone who's jumping at every quick rich scheme? Do they have a gambling addiction? Do they want to just stay in a duplex the whole time y'all get married and never want to buy a house? Is this person comfortable right where he is financially? He's never trying to grow. Does he tithe? Does he give to charity? Or is he always looking for a handout? Is he comfortable with you being on Section 8 or food stamps and Medicaid, and he's never trying to prosper? All these things are some of the things you need to know, because I guarantee you, when you get married, whatever financial issues he got, now you got. Does he pay his child support? Does that fool pay his child support? Because if he don't pay his child support and you have his babies, guess what? He ain't going to help you out either if y'all don't work out. Pay your child support.
All right, there you got it. Pay your child support, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Those all my questions?
Good. I think I have a question for you.
Oh, goody. You got a notebook. You can write it down.
Notebook.
Okay.
What do you think is the most important thing to do before you get married?
Pray. I think that's something that you really have to sit and pray about and talk to God about, because it's not like it's just, oh, I'm getting a relationship with this person and then you're just out of it. Because if something goes bad in a marriage, then that's divorce, you know? And divorce can really be drawn out and it's very stressful. And so you really have to sit and really think, like, is this something that God is telling me I should do? Is this something that I feel in my spirit that is right? Will it push me to go further, or will it just hold me back? So I really think that's like the first thing you should do.
And pray with him. And can I just add in there, do not, because I've done this, do not be ashamed of your relationship with God and dumb it down for your dude. Like, if you want to pray with him, that's a surefire way to find out if homeboy is about that Jesus life or if he's not. So pray in front of him or with him, or ask him, what's your prayer life like? Are you just praying just so you can
it,
right?
Just to say that you're in a relationship with God, but you're really not.
But you're really not. Pray and watch, because the Bible says you gotta be able to watch and pray. You can't just pray, oh God, bless me with this dude, because he's fine his own
little bubblegum prayers.
Right. No, you gotta pray and watch this dude, because he could be praying his little heart out, and then you see him acting a hot tail mess fool, or he trying to hit that, and y'all not married. So definitely that was a good answer. Pray, but do not be ashamed of who God is. God is first in your life, and he loves you unconditionally. He created you. He knows you better than anybody else. And we have to get in the habit of letting God be the lead in everything we do, including our dating, our courting, picking, the dude that we're supposed to be with or anything. So don't do that. Next question, and I think this will be my last one.
All right.
Relationship goals, hashtag relationship goals. We see it all on social media. Are you patterning? I don't even know if that's a word. But do you pattern your relationships after the hashtag relationship goals? And if so, which couple?
No. Because I don't want to be like anyone else, honestly. I want to have my own, what's the word? I want to be my own relationship goal. I don't want to have to look at someone else and be like, oh, I wish I had that, because you're not going to have that, because you guys are two different people.
Right.
In past relationships, I don't really count them as relationships, let's be honest, but I wouldn't count anything in that, because it wasn't anything, honestly. But yeah, I wouldn't want to look up to anyone. If I had to,
what'd I tell you? Barack?
It would have to be Barack and Michelle, because of the way
the Obamas.
He speaks about her and the way she speaks about him. And I like how they're real. Like, she tells you, like, how she was when they first met. She was like, I was not trying to be with him. Like, right. And I just think I want that type of love where not necessarily it just hits you, but it's not something you're expecting, but then it's everything and more.
Yeah. Well, we have taken up a lot of your time, and we're so appreciative that you joined us. And there's going to be plenty more discussions. Please stay tuned, because there's going to be an additional block that accompanies this video. And then we're going to do part 2. And part 2 is going to be an extremely intense, extremely emotional one, and we don't want you to miss it. We want you to get it for everything that it is. But we just thank you for tuning in with Monique's Clutch Conversations with Kamryn, my pumpkin bear, and Penelope Lancaster, the dog.
Not her name.
Her name is Penelope.
Okay.
Thanks, guys, and we just enjoyed you. Have a good one.